it going, everybody? So the time has come, we're talking The Running Man. Gotta say, 2025, more than any other year, it seems like I cannot escape Stephen King adaptations. The Life of Chuck, The Monkey, The Long Walk, It Welcome to Derry, The Running Man. All of these have came out this year. Gotta respect the fact not only is there so many different adaptations in just one singular year, but the variety of genres are at play. There actually is a section in The Running Man where he goes to Derry, Maine. He doesn't see Pennywise or anything, but it did make me think of It Welcome to Derry, since I am covering that show as well weekly. There were a lot of things that actually appealed to me about this new adaptation of The Running Man. I have always had a blast with the Arnold Schwarzenegger film from '87. Sure, it plays pretty loosely with the source material, making the hunters more akin to American Gladiators, but it's peak cheesy 80s action with some of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger lines in it.
But I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine! Ah!
In this version, Edgar Wright sticks far more closely to the novel, almost to its detriment, highlighting how the game is played very much like in the book, moving around the globe. Very much here it seemed like the goal was to have a happy medium tapping into the novel's concept, but have over-the-top thrilling spectacle. It's clear to see why Edgar Wright was so passionate about doing a new adaptation of The Running Man through how he adapts the material. From a writing perspective, there's some Paul Verhoeven-like qualities to the way he pokes fun at the twisted hellscape of the game. The idea that in this universe, which also conveniently is set in 2025, much like the novel, media controls everything and they can use all these crazy deepfakes to make you say whatever you want on the show. All of that stuff is pretty wild, and some of that stuff eerily is what's happening today. Besides the Running Man propaganda vignettes, there's this running gag clearly making fun of the Kardashians that made me howl each and every time we cut back to it. That part of the social commentary and the humor in the story is where I do think it is the strongest. The reason why I specifically say writing is if I didn't know ahead of time that Edgar Wright was directing The Running Man, you would probably have no idea he was the director. This is the same man that brought us the Cornetto trilogy, Scott Pilgrim, Baby Driver. By now, Edgar Wright has developed this signature style when you go into a film, and none of that is present here in his direction in The Running Man. All of the action set pieces are well directed. You see a high level of effort in the stunts, the big explosions, and Powell is doing the most, fighting every obstacle in his path to survival. I'm just perplexed by the idea that you hire Edgar Wright to direct this movie, but you don't give him his usual level of freedom stylistically. Screenplay-wise, there are moments where you can see Edgar Wright's humor shine through, but the direction, this feels like it could have been a lot of other different directors, which is a shame because Edgar Wright is such a fantastic director. Even before this film, I would consider myself a Glen Powell fan. I wasn't like a super fan or anything. However, with each and every movie I've seen him in, The Running Man included, he is convincing me. Powell absolutely kills it with a multi-layered performance as Ben Richards. There's several high-octane action set pieces where he gets to be a badass, an action movie star quality that a lot of people expect from him. Really though, it's the dramatic weight and the lengths he's willing to go fighting back against the system that's beating him down, where his performance truly shines while also pulling on your heartstrings due to the relatability. The whole idea around Richards going and participating in the Running Man game in of itself, trying to make enough money in this horrible world to get medicine to help his sick child, that's enough of a hook. But then over time, myself, much like the audience in the film, you do start to root for him more and more to take down the network. Unlike in the 1987 film where they merged two characters together, Killian and Bobby T, which is Richard Dawson's character, I'm glad that they are two separate distinct personalities in this version of The Running Man. Josh Brolin plays Killian in such a devious, slimy way. Every single line of dialogue that comes out of his mouth as he tries to goad Ben into doing more and more, you just want to punch him in the face. Then there's Colman Domingo, who, like always, is perfection hosting The Running Man. He is so effortlessly cool and charismatic. There's one performance that did surprise me a little bit, and it kind of is the Edgar Wright connection. It's Michael Cera. He plays a very different brand of awkward guy than what we're usually expecting him to play. Either way, I think it works quite well for him. He plays a huge role in one of my favorite big set pieces in the film. If you've ever wondered what Home Alone would look like if all of the traps inside of Home Alone were fatal, this section of the movie is probably going to be a blast for you. Unfortunately, I was disappointed overall by the hunters in this iteration. To a much lesser degree would I blame Lee Pace. He has at least a personality and threatening presence presence, even if he is forced to wear a mask 99% of the film. They just don't really do anything exciting at all with the other hunters. You'd think with billions of people tuning in all the time to watch them hunt, you would at least show some sort of reason why people get excited about them. While not book accurate or anything, the hunters in the 87 film, they had personalities and they were memorable. Also, for any Katy O'Brian fans out there, I hope that you're not going into this expecting to see a lot of her. I think you're going to be very disappointed. The overwhelming majority of her scenes, the very few that she does have, are in the very beginning. Once the game actually starts, they barely cut to her. She has very little screen time. Though I think the message is effective, hammering home King's themes from the novel, the dehumanization of it all for the sake of spectacle, fighting back against misinformation and anti-authoritarianism. The social commentary does feel a little bit too in your face at times, and it does kind of drag down the overall story. In some ways, I do feel like that adds to the mixed feeling I have about the overall conclusion to the film. No spoilers, obviously. All I will say is, though, is they toy with the idea of having an ending that is very similar to the book. If you do know what the ending to the Running Man book is, you would know it's a pretty dark ending. So for a moment there, I was kind of impressed that they were gonna go with the dark book ending, and then they pull a complete 180 and make some new changes to the ending that I certainly think could be divisive among audiences if you know what the book ending is. While I didn't necessarily love 2025's The Running Man, there's enough at play with the over-the-top action spectacle and the fun social commentary and satirical nature of The Running Man, where you certainly could get some enjoyment out of it. I don't think it's something that you should rush out and go see immediately in theaters. You very much could see this on VOD in a couple weeks when it's probably going to be on there, because I personally don't think it's going to do that well in the box office. I could be proven wrong. You never know. Once you get a chance to check out The Running Man, though, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the film? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Thank you guys. As always, check out videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like the video and also subscribe to the channel. So reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.